Thank you, Faizan. Good afternoon, everyone. And on behalf of Emkay Global Financial Services, I welcome you to the Q1 FY21 post-results earnings conference call of PNC Infratech. As Faizan mentioned, we have with us the management of PNC Infratech, represented by Mr. Yogesh Kumar Jain, Managing Director, and Mr. D.K. Maheshwari, Vice President, Finance. I request the management to give their opening remarks, after which we can have the Q&A. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, friends. A very warm welcome to all of you to participate in our earnings conference call to discuss on our financial and operational performance for the quarter June 30th, 20. Along with me, I have Mr. T.R. Rao, Director, Mr. D.K. Maheshwari, Vice President and Strategic Growth Advisor and Investor Relations Advisor. I will share key points on the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on sector, the future outlook of, and then will discuss company's performance. Like most of economic activities, infrastructure sector also impacted by the COVID-19-led disruptions, including lockdowns and restrictions imposed by both state and central government authorities across the country during the first quarter of the year. Both construction and operations significantly affected for 30 to 45 days during the quarter due to suspension of tolling operations, exodus of migrant labor, disruptions in the supply chain, and paucity of construction material like cement, steel, construction chemicals, aggregates, etc. across the project site. While most of the fixed costs being unchanged, reduction in production, toll revenue and income had an adverse impact on operating margins. Apart from pandemic-induced pressure on the income and margins, maintaining adequate liquidity has also been another challenge being faced by industry. According to CRISIL, construction across national highway is picking up steadily from May onwards. However, due to irreversible loss of golden working period for construction from 4th week of March till the end of May, most of the migrant workforce are slowly returning to work. Labor availability, which rose to 70 to 75% of pre-COVID level in the month of June, is now around 80 to 90%. However, with a bit early onset of monsoon and its being active and heavy at many parts of the country, the execution will continue to remain subdued during most duration of the second quarter also. With the given constraints and challenges, the sector may have to sustain an overall decline of 10 to 15% of the year as compared to last year. However, the complete receding of monsoon by the end of September, return of labor to 100% level post-monsoon, and early flattening of COVID-19 curve, we expect progress could be accelerated substantially during the second half of the year to make up the shortfalls in first half to a large extent. Relief measure announced by government, including loan moratorium up to 6 months, extension of concession and contract period up to 6 months, release of retention money and bank guarantees, offering COVID-19 loans at low rate of interest by MoRTH and NHAI are expected to provide support to the industry during the challenging times. The positive impact of above relief measures and fee-scale priorities of the government on the sector will only depend on the timely implementation at the ground level. Order awarding activity is picking up gradually, which is being largely driven by NHAI after the slump we witnessed till May 20. Overall bidding pipeline of NHAI modest at around rupees 50,000 crore, with bids to submitted before the end of September 20. Apart from central authorities, some of the state government also started awarding projects incrementally in roads, irrigation, water supply and mining sector. On traffic front, toll collections were severely impacted as tolling was suspended from 25th March 20 to 20th April 20. Traffic volumes have started ramping up gradually from the middle of May, post relaxation of goods movement by government. Toll collection at national highways from June onwards started rebounding In the last fortnight of June 20, the average toll collections have almost reached 90% of pre-COVID levels for many stretches of highway. According to CRISIL, traffic on national highways is bouncing back with the electronic toll collection reaching nearly 75% of the pre-COVID lockdown level with the lifting of most of the curbs. According to reports, the overall ramp-up in the toll collection, particularly with the regard of commercial vehicles, has been faster than in my case. The trend of sustained improvement for more than 2 months indicates that the rebound is not just due to pent-up demand. Now we are moving on to operation of the company. Our revenue for the quarter was impacted due to complete shutdown of operations for the initial 20 days of the quarter one. Subsequently, also, execution has not picked up due to migration of labor, disruption in supply chains, and early onset of monsoon in the month of June at quite a few project locations. Post relaxations of lockdown, execution was resumed across at all projects with about 60 to 70% operating efficiency, with around 70% of pre-COVID labor strength. Presently, at most of our project sites, labor strength has reached around 90% of pre-lockdown levels. We resumed toll collections from 20th April onwards at all NH projects. Current traffic levels are around 90% of pre-lockdown levels across all projects, primarily due to rebound in commercial traffic. We expect the traffic to reach normal level from October onwards after the monsoon. We are following directions issued by various authorities to contain the spread of COVID-19 by strictly adhering to laid down standard operating procedures at all construction sites as well as toll operation sites. Our key competencies like end-to-end execution capability, large fleet of modern plant and equipment, and multidisciplinary execution team with proven credentials led to strong execution track record. Additionally, our prudent leverage and strong balance sheet enable seamless project execution without any financial or liquidity challenges. Our robust techno-commercial credentials provide us with flexibility to continue to bid large-size projects on EPC and HAM. Now we are moving on to our project development business. Over the years, we have been able to create a diversified portfolio of 18 fund-based projects comprising BOT toll, BOT annuity, OMT and HAM. Out of these 18 projects, 8 projects are operational, which also include Dausa-Lalsar HAM project, which achieved the commercial operation with effect from 14 February 20. Including already operational Dausa HAM project, we have a total of 11 HAM projects, of which 6 are under construction and 1 is awaiting appointed date. And for remaining 4 projects, we have received the letter of award and process of financial closure has begun. For the 7 projects under construction, the total equity requirement is rupees 848 crore, out of which we have already infused rupees 469 crore as on 30th June 20, and balance will be infused over the next 2 years through internal accrual. For Cherry-Harrier HAM project, we expect NHAI will declare the appointed date by the middle of October 20. Land acquisition for our 4 new HAM projects stands around 80%, and we expect to receive the appointed date for these projects as invested in concession agreements within the 5 months from their signing. The company internal accrual should be sufficient for funding the future equity requirement for all the HAM projects. Now on to our order book. COVID-19 crisis has not affected the order book position of company so far. In June 20, we have received letter of award from NHAI for 53.95 km long 4-laning of Meerut Najibabad section of NH-34 HAM project in Uttar Pradesh for bid project cost of rupees 1,412 crore. In July 20, we have received letter of acceptance from NHAI for 2 EPC projects of Delhi-Barodara 8-lane access control Greenfield Expressway for an aggregate contract value of rupees 1,548 crore. Our unexecuted order book as on 30th June 20 was over rupees 7,700 crore. Out of this, the EPC and HAM projects constitute 66% and 34% respectively. The order book does not include Chanderi to Harihar HAM project and 4 new HAM projects, 2 EPC projects of Delhi-Mumbai Expressway of an aggregate cost of rupees 8,000 crore. Including all projects, our order book would be over rupees 15,500 crore, which gives a robust revenue visibility over the next 2-3 years. Now I would present the results for the quarter ended June 30th, 20. During the quarter, the company operation has been impacted due to COVID-19 lockdown, and therefore it is not really comparable with the corresponding quarter of last year. Revenue of first quarter of financial year 21 is rupees 905 crore and EBITDA is rupees 120 crore. The EBITDA margin for quarter 1 financial year 21 is 13.2%. Profit of first quarter of financial year 21 is rupees 60 crore. Consolidated revenue of first quarter of financial year 21 is rupees 1,093 crore. Consolidated EBITDA is rupees 287 crore. EBITDA margin is 26.3%. Consolidated PAT for the quarter is rupees 95 crore. Our working capital cycle is 84 days. The debtor days as on 30th June 20 is 73 days as compared to 71 days on 30th June 19. Our net worth on standalone basis is rupees 2,607 crore as on 30th June 20. Total standalone debt is rupees 326 crore, which is for equipment finance debt, and there is no working capital loan. The total cash and bank balance as on 30th June 20 is rupees 668 crore. We have a net cash balance of rupees 342 crore. Net debt to equity is 0.13 times. On consolidated basis, our net worth is rupees 2,647 crore. Total debt is rupees 3,590 crore as on 30th June 20. The total cash and bank balance including current investment is rupees 1,116 crore. Net debt to equity is 1.36 times. With this, now open the floor for question answer.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. Reminder to the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1. The first question is from the line of Mohit Kumar from IDFC Securities. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Congratulations on a good quarter, given the challenging situation. Sir, I have 3 questions. The first is, is there any kind of number or guidance we can provide for FY20, given the labor availability and progress on the project side?
So we expect around 10% reduction in the turnover this year in comparison with financial year 20 due to pandemic.
Okay. And we expect, and sir, any comment on the project-wise, the improvement in the situation?
Project-wise situation more or less is similar. Initially because of the COVID lockdown followed by the exodus of migrant labor, now the monsoon being active across all project sites, the situation is normal. So we will certainly try to make up the shortfalls in the second half of the year. But as of now, still things are not certain, and given the unpredictability, we are expecting around 10% kind of a decline in comparison to last year's turnover. Otherwise, the situation across the project sites is similar.
Understood, sir. Secondly, sir, what is the absolute amount of debtors and working capital? And are you facing any challenges in getting money from the UP in the current quarter, especially for Purvanchal?
Actually, the gross debt is 326 crore and 30th June, and net cash and bank balance is 668 crore. So there is net cash available is 342 crore.
So my question is on debtors and working capital.
Okay, debtors is 73 days as compared to 16 March 20, and working capital days is 84 days as compared to 57 days in March 20.
So my question was, sir, why has it the debtors days increased QOQ, and is there any issue in payment with Purvanchal Expressway execution, in the sense that the payment are delayed?
There is some delay in Purvanchal Expressway, but the delay is not substantial, but there is some delay.
Actually, this is temporary and will be able to reduce in the coming quarter, because we are not taking the disbursements also in two of our SPVs during this quarter. But this is a temporary, but we don't think the working capital days will go more than 70 days in next third quarter and fourth quarter.
Okay, sir. Lastly, sir, Gwalior Bypass Project Limited, can you just throw a light on what is the bid, what is the arrangement, and
Gwalior Bypass, we submitted our resolution plan under CARP process initiated by pursuant to the NCLT order. The committee of creditors have issued the letter of intent to us. We are bound by certain confidentiality in the letter of intent. Otherwise, it's a annuity, conventional annuity, BOT annuity project, and has a trial period of 7 years as of now.
Understood, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Shravan Shah from Dolat Capital Market. Please go ahead.
First of all, congratulations on better than expected results. Sir, continuing to the working capital question, so in terms of the days you have mentioned, but if I just look at overall 27 days has increased. So in terms of the absolute, if I just calculate close to 330 crore kind of a additional increase in the working capital has happened. So is it possible to give the absolute amount of inventories, debtors, payables, and from where the paying, whether it is from the SPVs, HAM SPVs, the data has increased, or any other EPC projects it has increased?
Actually, in case we will compare with the March 20, because during lockdown and the COVID-19, last 10 days, we have received all the milestone payment, advance payment, and that is why certainly to some extent it is down in March 20. It was 54 days only. So, but coming quarter, we don't think that working capital days will go more than 70 days. As regards that complete detail, we will discuss and we will give you the offline. Complete detail.
Okay. And secondly, as we are saying that we are now expecting 10% decline, that is definitely we are always conservative in terms of the revenue for FY21. So just trying to, so related to this, the remaining 4 HAM projects, when we are expecting appointed date, and for this both Vadodara, Delhi, when we are expecting, and have we factored any revenue from these remaining projects which are not part of order book in FY21 guidance that we are giving?
Out of 4 HAM projects, 3 HAM projects we have signed the concession agreement on 5th of August. So that appointed date fall on January. So in the guidelines which we have given by our director, Yogesh, we have not completed the revenue of these projects. And we are expecting that the appointed date will be in the month of January, end of February, in all the 4 HAM projects. So around 80% land is clear presently.
Yeah, sir. Because even the last time in the June when we had a call, at that time also we were expecting appointed date for all the HAM 4 projects by October, November, and for the Challakere Hariyur by mid of July. And now for that we are saying from July mid to October mid, and here from October, November to January. So despite the 80% land is available, so just trying to understand why there is a 3 to 4 months delay.
Actually, we have a time of 5 months for achieving the financial closure on signing of the concession agreement. We have signed 3 projects. We have signed on 5th of August. That appointed date at financial closure comes to January first week. So we are expecting that appointed date will come in the end of the January.
Okay. So, sir, continuing to that in terms of the equity investment, so the ongoing under construction projects, 380 crore would be required. Out of that, how much we would be putting in FY21 and in FY22, and these 4 HAM projects, and actually the 5th one also, Challakere Hariyur. So, how much equity required for these 5 projects? And when we will be putting in at 21, how much? 22 and 23, how much?
It is total equity requirement around 1,000 crore, which includes the under construction project and the new HAM project. And we are expecting that in FY21 we have to infuse 257 in 9 months, and 430 in FY22, and FY23 155 crore. But this amount may vary because it depends on the taking the disbursement. Because we usually infuse the money at the time of the taking of disbursement just to maintain the debt equity. These are the tentative amounts. The total amount required is 1,000 crore rupees.
So sir, this number varies sizably, significantly. So 848 crore is for the 7 HAM projects, including the Challakere Hariyur, and for remaining 4 projects, we are saying only 150 crore would be needed.
And the total requirement 1,000 crore. 380 crore out of 7 projects, including Challakere. And remaining 4 projects around 620 crore rupees. 620 in the yeah.
Sorry. Come again, sir.
Actually, equity commitment for 7 projects was 848 crore, and we have infused 470 crore till June. So remaining is 380, which includes Challakere.
Yes.
And all the new 4 HAM projects we require around 620 crore. So total equity requirement will be 1,000 crore.
Okay. And at this 1,000, we will be putting in FY21,
22 and 23, and partly in 24.
Okay. So broadly, once again, can you tell in 21, 22, 23 how much?
257, 430, and 150. 257, 430, and 150.
Thank you. Mr. Shah, may we request that you return to the question queue for follow-up questions, as there are several participants waiting for their turn. Thank you. We'll take the next question from the line of Ashish Shah from Centrum Broking. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon to everyone. Sir, first question is on the Ghaziabad Aligarh asset sale. So last time we had indicated that we are in talks with some other investors. So can you update on the status of that discussion?
Actually, as per the terms of the share purchase agreement, which was signed with True Highway on 4th May, 19 expired before closure of the deal, and the party have decided not to extend the term further. But we are in the discussion with another prospective investor who has having interest in the project asset. Accordingly, process of due diligence gets underway, and almost it has completed, and we expect to enter into a deal with the investor in 1 or 2 months if valuation permit to us.
Okay. Right. So are we expecting a valuation similar to?
ड्यू डिलिजेंस इन लोगों ने कंप्लीट कर लिया है, टेक्निकल, लीगली, फाइनेंशियली एंड ट्रैफिक स्टडी.
जी सर, वैल्यूएशन सेम रेंज में होगा या कुछ चेंज हो सकता है वैल्यूएशन में?
ज्यादा चेंज होना नहीं चाहिए. लेट अस सी.
राइट सर. सेकेंडली, लखनऊ रिंग रोड में सो देयर वी हैव द अपॉइंटेड डेट, लेकिन उसमें एग्जीक्यूशन दिख नहीं रहा है अभी. तो कोई इशू है ऑन द ग्राउंड?
नहीं,
अपॉइंटेड डेट लखनऊ रिंग रोड पर जैसे ही अपॉइंटेड डेट हुआ तो उसके कुछ दिन बाद ही ये लॉकडाउन और ये सब स्टार्ट हो गई, और फिर रेनी सीजन स्टार्ट हो गया. रेनी सीजन में क्या है ना, वो हाई एम्बैंकमेंट है पूरा, तो वहाँ अर्थवर्क नहीं चल पाता क्योंकि सारे बोरो एरिया में पानी भर जाता है. तो इस सेकंड क्वार्टर में बर्डन आया है, लेकिन जो अभी अक्टूबर के बाद से तेजी से आएगा 3 अक्टूबर. बाकी इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं.
ठीक है सर. लास्ट क्वेश्चन, चेलिकेरी में इज देयर एनी चांस कि वो कैंसिल हो जाएगा? बिकॉज काफी डिले हो रहा है, उस वजह से पूछ रहा था मैं कि एनी प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ कैंसिलेशन, या ये 100% आ ही जाएगा कपल ऑफ मंथ्स हियर एंड देयर?
हम कोई कैंसिलेशन चाह नहीं रहे हैं उसमें ऐसा, क्योंकि वी आर मोबिलाइज देयर, और 15 अक्टूबर तक अभी लास्ट डिस्कशन हुआ था, तो उसमें ये डिस्कशन हुआ था कि 15 अक्टूबर तक मेन कैरेज भी दे देंगे. बाकी अगर सर्विस रोड नहीं मिली तो भी हम काम स्टार्ट कर देंगे.
ठीक है. ठीक. थैंक यू. थैंक यू.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Vibhor Singhal from Phillip Capital. Please go ahead.
Thanks for taking my question, and congrats for a great set of numbers. So my question is more on the bidding activity going forward. Sir, given that कि सर अभी ऑलरेडी हमारे पास 5 हैंड प्रोजेक्ट हैं जिनकी अपॉइंटेड डेट शायद जनवरी-फरवरी तक मिलेगी, और ईपीसी प्रोजेक्ट एज यू सेड कंस्ट्रक्शन जल्दी स्टार्ट होना चाहिए. तो गोइंग अहेड अगर ये सारे मिला लेते हैं तो करीब 15,000 करोड़ की ऑर्डर बुक होती है, जो कि काफी 3 टाइम्स बुक टू सेल्स के ऊपर है. तो इसके आगे आरबी हम लोग थोड़ा सा स्लो जाएंगे ऑर्डरिंग की बिडिंग में, या फिर हैंड प्रोजेक्ट जो कि ऑलरेडी 5 पाइपलाइन में है तो इसलिए ईपीसी ज्यादा लेने की कोशिश करेंगे, ये कोई स्टेजिंग स्ट्रैटेजी नहीं है और जैसा पहले कर रहे थे वैसे ही करेंगे?
नहीं, हम ईपीसी की तरफ कीन है, लेकिन अगर कोई हेम भी मिलता है तो कोई बात नहीं है. वैसे 50-50 हेम और ईपीसी में 50-50% मेंटेन रखने की कोशिश करते हैं, और वी विल मेंटेन दैट.
ओके. और फिर एनएचआई की तरफ से सर क्या एक्सपेक्टेशन बन रही? जैसे अभी तक उन लोगों ने करीब 450 किलोमीटर अवार्ड किया है, और जैसा सुनने में आ रहा है करीब 700-800 किलोमीटर की बिड है जो कि ऑलरेडी सबमिट हो चुकी है, एंड दिस शुड कम आउट इन द नेक्स्ट कपल ऑफ मंथ. तो आपको लगता है कि अगले 2-3 महीनों में शायद एनएचआई की थोड़ी एक्टिविटी बढ़ेगी, या फिर अगले साल शेयर मार्केट में ही ज्यादा एक्टिविटी रहेगी?
नहीं, बहुत बढ़ेगी तो नहीं, बट मॉडरेट रहेगी और बिडिंग आएंगी. एनएचआई कोशिश कर रही है कि बिड आए, क्योंकि लास्ट ईयर की भी बिड काफी पेंडिंग है, वो इस साल आएंगी. और हैम में ईपीसी में दोनों में बिड आएंगी. करीब 25 बिड सभी एनएचआई की है अभी और ईपीसी में, बाकी 18 बिड हैम में है. टोटल मिला के 42,000 करोड़ की बिड ऑलमोस्ट बिड होने वाली है. फ्लोट कर दिया सितंबर तक बिड होनी है.
श्योर सर. Maheshwari sir, just one question. If you can just give the project-wise क्या status बचा है, तो भोजपुर, बक्सर, कोलिवार, भोजपुर and all these projects, and also झांसी, खजुराहो, इन सब पैकेजेस में कितना बेसिकली ऑर्डर बुक में बचा है नंबर?
ये भोजपुर बक्सर में 278 करोड़,
Yes sir.
एंड कोलिवार भोजपुर 248 करोड़,
Yes, sir.
Varanasi Gorakhpur 174.
Yes, sir.
And Lakhimpur Kheri is 82 crore.
Right, sir.
And Jhansi Khajuraho package 1 is 416 crore. And Jhansi Khajuraho package 2 313 crore.
Okay. And sir, Chitradurga and the Aligarh Kanpur.
Chitradurga 420 crore and Aligarh Kanpur 448 crore.
Sure. Thank you so much, sir. Thanks for taking my questions and wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next question is from the line of Ramesh Mariappa, individual investor. Please go ahead.
Can you hear me?
So we cannot hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can hear you, sir.
My question is, first thing is a great result for the quarter. I appreciate the team which has been doing well. The question is more on minority shareholders in terms of dividend payouts. For an EPS of 20, you get a dividend of 1. How can you justify that? Is it not very low?
Can you repeat please?
So my question is on dividend payout. Basically, last year, for an EPS of 20, the dividend payout is rupees 1. Is it not low?
Mr. Mariappan, though EPS is there around 20, because we more focused on the reinvestment of these profit again into the company, both for equity as well as to some extent purchase of capital equipment, so that in a long term the valuation of the thing and the would be beneficial to the all stakeholders. So we are reinvesting the money.
Sorry, sir. But see, for the last 4-5 years, it has been the same, though the profits, revenues, everything almost doubled.
Actually, if you will see my result now, because most of the money we are infusing either in the capex or in the equity in the HAM projects. Even then we have maintained the dividend 25% as we were giving last 2-3 years. So we require the money. We require the money for capex as well as in the equity in the HAM project. Yes, after monetization of project, when cash will come, at that point of time, after 1 year, we can rethink for that. We can recommend your case to our board also.
Thank you. Mr. Mariappa, may we request that you return to the question queue for follow-up questions. We'll take the next question from the line of Jiten Rushi from Axis Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Congratulations on decent set of numbers. So my question is related to the balance sheet numbers. If you can share the balance sheet numbers like debtors, creditors, inventory, mobilization advances, retention money, and unbilled revenue.
If you mobilization advance with the clients as on 30th June is 345 crore, and remaining debtors, detail of creditor, debtors, we will give you offline.
And sir, how much mobilization advances we are expecting to get in next quarter, in Q2 or Q3? Any fresh advances expected? Or
in Q3 we are not expecting any mobilization advance, but certainly in the fourth quarter, when we will get the appointed date, we will get advance from the client.
So Purvanchal and Mumbai Nagpur is all, there is no pending advances, right, sir?
In Bombay we have already taken. Purvanchal we have not taken. We have taken only 5% because we are already having a cash and bank balance. And yes, in the third quarter we can take advance from Delhi Baroda Express because we are expecting the appointed in the month of October and November. Yeah.
And sir, toll collection numbers, can you give me project-wise toll collection? Kanpur, Kamrai, Gwalior, Jind, Bareilly, Almora, and Kanpur, Ayodhya, Kaja, Aligarh, and Narela?
Yeah. MP highway is 8.3 crore. And Kanpur Ayodhya is 72.3. Kanpur Highway 19.6. Narela is 10.4. Bareilly Almora is 7.8. And Ghaziabad Aligarh 27.6.
So as you said, sir, the labor availability is around 80 to 90% and efficiency, execution efficiency is around 70% level right now. Am I right, sir?
See, execution efficiency slightly declined due to the monsoon. Though labor availability is up to 90%, because of the monsoon, the progress is hampered.
So we can assume safely that the execution is almost at 50% now compared to the pre-COVID levels?
Yeah, around 50 to 60%.
And sir, one last question on tax rate. So what is the tax rate this year we are expecting, because there was some balance MAT credit remaining. So our tax rate for this quarter was almost 30% plus. So what is the run rate we are expecting going forward for this year and next year?
In first quarter, tax rate was 30.5, and we are expecting between 31 to 34% in entire FY21.
And 22, sir?
22 will remain completely around 34-35%.
34%. Okay. So the MAT credit is still remaining. How much is left, sir?
MAT credit around 94 crore.
Okay, 94. That's it from my side, and all the best. I'll come back in the queue if I have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Mohit Kumar from IDFC Securities. Please go ahead.
Hello. Yes, sir. Thanks for the opportunity once again, sir. Sir, which of our HAM projects you expect to be, achieve PCOD in this financial year? And do we expect any bonus, accretion to us?
In the current financial year, see, as you know, in the last financial year, we received COD for one of the HAM projects, namely Dausa Lalkot in February. This financial year, we are expecting COD for 4 of the HAM projects.
And what was the, are we ahead of time? Are we on time? So can we expect any bonus?
All these projects, because of the COVID pandemic and other reasons, these projects are slightly lagging. So we don't expect any bonus from these 4 projects. But however, we'll see whether we can take up the bonus issue with NHA, considering the justifiable extension.
Anything on EPC side where we are ahead of,
I don't know, but we are endeavoring both expressway projects and in 3 Purvanchal as well as Nagpur. We are endeavoring to complete substantially before end of the current financial year.
Secondly, on the HAM project, all the HAM projects are reaching closer. Are we in talks with the investors for an exit? And what kind of timeline we are looking at?
Please come again.
So all these 3-4 HAM projects which are getting, which most likely will get completed in this financial year, and one Dausa also got achieved PCOD last year. Are we in talks with investors for an exit in this project? And is there a timeline you're looking at for complete exit?
See, there is no timeline we decided, but definitely we are looking into to getting a exit from these projects, and if you get a right valuation.
Okay, understood, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Prem Khurana from Anand Rathi. Please go ahead.
Thank you for taking my question, sir. Congratulations on good set of numbers. Sir, so 2 questions here. So one was, did we extend any stopgap into any of our operational assets this quarter? Because, the numbers that you gave in terms of toll collection seem on the lower side, when compared to last quarter. So I think last quarter after 160 करोड़ का कुछ कलेक्शन था बीओटी टोल का, वो कुछ 130-140 के आसपास आ रहा है. तो आई एम श्योर कुछ ना कुछ रीपेमेंट भी ड्यू होंगे. So are we required to support any of these entities in this quarter? Especially Bareilly Almora, because Bareilly Almora it seems that we made some repayments during the quarter.
In the first quarter, certainly there is a lower collection, but in July and August, it has ramped up, and per day collection it has come to 11 lakh per day, as against the 9 lakhs or 8.5 lakhs in the April and May in the Bareilly.
सर कुछ पैसा दिया क्या आपने इधर बरेली को या गाजियाबाद अलीगढ़ को?
No, we have not given any money neither in the Ghaziabad nor to Bareilly in this quarter. And we don't require to pay any more money to infuse in the Bareilly Almora, because we are going in the restructuring. Now RBI has permitted. So thereafter we don't require to infuse any money in the Bareilly Almora from PNC.
So fail to 97 crore का reduction दिख रहा है in Bareilly debt. Is essentially, I mean, the SCB was sitting on some cash, which is how they've been able to meet this obligation, or how have we been able to manage this 90 odd crore rupees of reduction in Bareilly Almora this quarter?
Actually, in this quarter, earlier we have given the unsecured loan to Bareilly Almora, because now this year, in the one of our subsidiary, which is debt free, and there was surplus, we have given the 100 crore rupees from that company to Bareilly Almora, and we have reduced the size of the debt. That is why now we don't require for any debt service.
Sure. And I think sir last quarter आपने बोला था कि गाजियाबाद अलीगढ़ में कुछ शायद 25 करोड़ का requirement हो सकता है on the higher side. So that number stays, or that number would go under change because of this COVID scenario now?
Till in case if required, total requirement till March will be around 20-25 crore rupees if required.
Okay. Sure, sir. Thank you. That's it from my side. Yeah, all the best.
Thank you. Reminder to the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Vibhor Singhal from Phillip Capital. Please go ahead. Mr. Singhal, your line is in talk mode. Please go ahead with your question.
Yeah, sorry. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah, so sorry. Yeah, thanks for taking my question. So, sir, my question was on Purvanchal Expressway. We are reading this in the newspaper that the state government wants to complete this project basically next year by December, and basically in time for the elections that are upcoming. So, do you believe we should be able to complete that project, and do we expect any early completion bonus also in this?
Yes, in Purvanchal we expect early completion bonus. The government wants at least the operationalization of the main carriageway in the first quarter of next year. I would say from before the March, and the subsequently finishing works and all will be completed. So we expect early completion bonus from both of the packages.
Okay. And but not a similar thing I would say in Mumbai Nagpur, right? Or would it possible there also?
Yeah, there also. Yeah. There also would be completing ahead of schedule.
Oh, great, sir. Sure. So just one last question. Sir, in this quarter, the interest expense basically came down from the last quarter, which was quite high. So पिछले quarter में करीब 32 crores का interest expense came down to 25 crores. So what is the kind of any reason for this coming down, and what can we expect as the, let's say, the overall interest expense for the full year?
Actually, mainly reduction only on account of the repayment of the mobilization advance of Nagpur Bombay in this quarter, because that advance was 12% interest. So we have taken in the month of October. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so ये सब 25 करोड़ का रन रेट ही रहना चाहिए इस साल for the remaining part of the year?
It should be around 120 crore rupees in the entire year.
In the entire year. Sure, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Wish you all the best.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Alok Deora from Yes Securities. Please go ahead.
Hello, congratulations, sir, on a good set of numbers. Just a couple of questions. Sir, with the current order book which we have, so what is the order inflow we are looking at for this year? Because the execution is also sort of very tepid. So what is the order inflow target for this year and possibly next year?
Sir, this year we are expecting total order inflow of around 7,000 crores, meaning thereby 3,000 crores orders we had already secured, so another 4,000 crores order this year. And next year also we are looking at the same similar size, maybe 1,000 crores plus or minus.
Sure. And sir, one more thing, the HAM projects which have been completed and which we might be looking to exit. So in that, the recent decline in the bank rate, so that would be impacting the valuation, right? If you can just elaborate on that.
So we are talking with the two structured manner.
Okay.
We are discussing on that way. Yeah.
Okay.
So these interest rate, bank rate are for temporary, maybe 6 months or 1 year, like that.
Okay, but could that lead to some delay in getting the deal sort of executed had this not happened?
No, as of now, see, still we have 6 months time to get the COD for these 4 projects. So we are watching it carefully, and at the right time for the right valuation we will take a decision.
Sure. Okay, so I think that's all from my side. Thank you and all the best.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Manish Goyal from Enam Holdings. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much. Just taking forward from the previous question, like in current circumstances, like even for new HAM projects, what we have won, do you believe that banks would be willing to come and provide funding for the same? Because the challenge is in terms of the negative carry which is happening due to lower interest rates.
We don't have any problem in the recent awarded 4 HAM projects.
They've already died.
We have already tied up with the bank. Pardon?
So at what rate do you think that we should be able to get the loans? At what rate, sir?
Discussions are going on. It has not been finalized. But in principle, we have got the sanction.
So because what we hear is that still banks are not willing to offer loans below 9%, and on other side, the current bank rate is 4.25, 4.5, and plus 3, 7.5. So I'm just wondering that would it be feasible for us to take it forward?
We will let you know the rate of interest as soon as we will receive the final sanction from the banker. But it is not like that. Yeah.
We don't foresee any major challenge in this regard.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Pankaj Kumar from Kotak Securities. Please go ahead.
Yes, thanks for taking my question, sir. Sir, this year we are expecting around 10% kind of decline in the revenue. So any guidance for next year, FY22, based on low base of FY21?
See, just as of now, we are waiting and we are closely watching how this socio-economic conditions would unfold given the pandemic and how the curve will get flattened. So at this point of time, it would be quite speculative to say anything on the guidance of the next year. But definitely we should be able to tell at the end of third quarter. So what would be the possible scenario?
Okay. And sir, any update on this Ganga Expressway, by when we can expect the bids and all?
This one, Ganga Expressway?
Yeah.
There is no update because we don't know with the current pandemic situation, how the state government finances and all will support that. So as of now, there is no major development in that particular project. So we don't think that there will be any kind of a significant development in next 3 to 4 months in that project.
And lastly, sir, from any other sector we are expecting projects, or we are looking at, say earlier we were looking at metro project or the railway side, or any other sector we are looking at in terms of project addition?
In water sector, we have submitted bid. This is a rural water, drinking water supply under central government's Jal Jeevan Mission, where Government of India is providing 50% grant. So we submitted bids, 3 bids, amounting to around 575 crores aggregate value. That is the sector we are currently looking at to enter into a limited way in the water supply sector, rural water supply sector.
What would be the scope of work?
It's a water supply. It's a combination of surface water as well as underground water. We have to take it from the coast, and it is functional tap connections to be given to rural population, rural households. It's a typical rural water supply system. We submitted our bids in the month of July. We are expecting the financial bids will be opened in the first week of September.
Okay, related to this project, what?
Exactly. Correct.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thanks for taking.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Priyankar Biswas from Nomura. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, sir. So, sir, my question has been, you are saying that in case of this Purvanchal Expressway, there has been some slowdown in payments in the first quarter. But has these things normalized now? That is, are the payments coming on time now, or are we still facing issues?
Yeah, actually what has happened in the first quarter, payments across the projects and across the project proponents, because of these disruptions due to COVID, and most of the offices were not functioning in the month of April and the part of May also. So these payments and also then funding and all getting delayed. So we don't foresee any major delays in the payment in the coming months. But the clear picture will emerge only after 1 or 2 months.
Okay, so let's say by end of September, you would be in a better position to comment on this, like whether things have normalized on the payment front. Is that right?
Yes, you are right.
Mm-hmm. One more question is, sir, you submitted this bid for the Gwalior bypass. So are there any other potential NCLT assets that you are targeting or have submitted the bid?
As of now, we are not zeroed in on any particular asset. But this Gwalior only we submitted because we find a lot of synergy. It's a highway, it's a Gwalior bypass highway project, and it's this conventional annuity. So as of now, we have not identified any other projects.
Okay. And sir, the last question from me. So you had highlighted that mobilization advances for Mumbai-Nagpur, which were very high interest bearing, were repaid in the first quarter. So can you quantify that? How much would this repayment would have been? Because maybe that also explains a part of the working capital increase. So if you can just highlight, I mean, how much the repayment has been of mobilization?
Around 94 crore rupees.
Okay, sir. That's all from my side.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Rachit Kamath from Anand Rathi Shares and Stock Brokers. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, sir, for taking my question, and congratulations on a good performance during Q1. Sir, my first question regards to toll segmental revenues that are reported in your consolidated entity. So last quarter you had booked around 187 crores, and this quarter again you have booked 187 crores. But the thing is that in April we had this 20 days lockdown, and then we also had this, collections also down. So will you kindly throw some light on that?
It is coincidence. Actually, because only of coincidence, the amount segmental is the same, 187, 187. Because these accounts have been prepared based on the index. So with the impact of the HAM projects which are under construction, this is also be considered. Yeah. This is a coincidence.
Okay. Sure. Can you tell me, like, Maheshwari sir has just guided that we have this 94 crores of MAT credit, which will most likely be used up in, FY21 itself. But we still said that we'll have a tax rate of around 34% for FY22. So, can you just throw some light on that also?
Partly it will adjust in FY21 and remaining will be adjusted in FY22.
So how much kind of adjustments do we envisage will be done in FY21, sir? Of this 94 crores?
Around 60, 65, 70 crores we will utilize in this FY21 out of 95 crores.
Okay, 60, 65, 70 crores. Sure. Yeah. Okay. So one last question on bookkeeping is Dausa also चला जो अपना हाइब्रिड एंटी प्रोजेक्ट है उससे हमने कितना इनकम बुक किया होगा कंसोलिडेटेड एंटिटी में
कितना सर
Dausa also
I will let you know offline.
Sure, sir. Thanks a lot for this opportunity and best of luck for the next quarter. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Jiten Rushi from Axis Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for taking my question. Sir, earlier Moradabad, you were supposed to receive some bonus. So what is the status of that, sir? That 14 crore or you were supposed to receive?
We are expecting it will take 2 months, I think. Around 2 months, it will take 2 months more.
In Q3 we can receive, sir?
Yeah.
So we are going to receive with interest or without interest? Because this is pending for quite some time.
The NHA doesn't normally pay interest. So
Okay. And sir, any arbitration, ongoing arbitration, can you highlight on the same and the CAPEX guidance for 2 years?
CAPEX guidelines in this year we are expecting around 120 to 125 crore because after awarding this Gujarat EPC group project, we have changed our guidance from 75 crore to 125 crore in this FY21. Around 120, 125 crore.
Right. And arbitration, ongoing arbitration mandate?
As of now, it's uncertain. So we don't expect any arbitration award realized in the current financial year.
What are the ongoing arbitration? Just can you highlight that? Like, obviously, no award expected, but.
So we'll share you offline. These arbitration cases readily, they are not readily available. We'll share offline.
Okay. Fair enough, sir. And sir, unutilized fund limit and non-fund limit, can you give us the percentage? Obviously, the presentation mentions the limits in terms of value, but what is the unutilized portion of that?
We are having the sanction of 1,000 crore in fund base and utilization is nil as on date. So utilization 100% is unutilized in fund base.
And non-fund base, sir?
Non-fund base utilized around 55%.
Thank you. Mr. Rushi, may we request that you return to the question queue for follow-up questions. The next question is from the line of Mayank Goyal from SBI Cap Securities. Please go ahead.
It's from SBI Capital Markets. Good afternoon, sir. Thanks for the opportunity. Sir, I had just two questions. First one, sir, we are privy to the remedies and extension that NHA has been providing to deal COVID. But since you are also working with two major states, what kind of support these state authorities are giving? Are they also mirroring the relief which NHA is providing, some blanket extensions, or is it something different?
They're not exactly mirroring, but in case of Schedule G, Schedule H, like payment weightages and all, in Purvanchal they substantially relaxed. So we are getting payments there for the work done, irrespective of the minimum length and all. With regard to extension and all, so they have not given any extension as of now, because these projects are going as per the schedule till now. And they expect these projects to be completed before the scheduled date. So it is not exact reflection, it's not exact mirroring by the state government, but they are also considering some of the reliefs what the government of India is doing.
Okay, so if we have to, apply for some extension in these projects, will it be project and package wise, or they might come up with a blanket extension for all the packages in Purvanchal or all the packages of Mumbai, Nagpur?
No, it may be on a case-to-case basis, on a project-to-project basis. They are not taking any policy decision in this regard.
Okay. And sir, secondly, so the ordering in the first half has been slightly better compared to previous years. But again, we have seen, competition increasing in not just in EPC, but also in HAM. I think in this year, all the HAMs which are awarded saw the highest competition ever. So though we are open to both EPC and HAM, will we wait for some time till these small one-timer companies get their share, or will we continue bidding? And does this also mean that maybe we might resort to one or two BOT projects also, which NHAI may award in coming time, so if they do so?
Here our focus will continue to be on EPC slightly more than HAM, because we had 4 major HAM projects recently. Yes, there is a very fierce competition in EPC segment, but we would be focusing on a larger project size, so there the competition would be less. And also we wait here. We always look for a right project at the right time at the right price. So we don't just bid for the expansion of order book. We wait for the right opportunity to bid.
So we are not in hurry.
Yeah, we are not in hurry. So because
we have sufficient order book for 2-3 years.
Okay, and sir, regards to BOT, because I am asking this because if I am not wrong, I think we had participated in the 2 Bengal BOTs. So are we planning to get 1 or 2 BOT on board, which NHAI may order?
So those BOTs, NHAI has not cancelled. Both the BOT projects in West Bengal, NHAI has cancelled those bids, and NHAI hasn't come back on those bids. So we'll see. As of now,
planning to come on HAM also.
Yeah, they may convert them into HAM also. We don't know. So our preference won't be on a BOT toll, but still we'll wait and watch what kind of projects are coming on BOT toll model.
Okay, sir. That's it from my side, and all the best for future.
Thank you, Mayank.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Shravan Shah from Dolat Capital Markets. Please go ahead.
Sir, couple of clarification. Sir, in terms of the tax rate, last time we have talked about we will be moving to a new tax rate in FY22, but now we are seeing some portion 60 to 70 crore MAT of 95 crore will be utilizing and remaining in 22, and that's what we are expecting a 34% tax rate in FY22. Just for the clarification, is it this is what we are expecting, or it can be a lower than 34% tax rate in FY22?
Actually, earlier we were expecting that turnover will grow. There will be growth in the FY20. Because of a lower turnover, we cannot utilize entire max credit in the books. So that is why partly we have to utilize in the FY22. That was the only reason. In case if my turnover will increase, certainly we will utilize this max credit in the FY21.
Okay. And secondly, sir, we are expecting a bonus, early completion bonus on Purvanchal and Mumbai Nagpur. So this would be in the range of 3% or a 5%?
Yeah, it will depend upon the number of days ahead of the schedule we complete, because the percentage is 0.4% for each day. So let us see. It can go up to 5 and 6% also, but we have to see then when we'll be able to achieve the COD and also provisional as well as final COD.
Okay. And sir, Jhansi Khajuraho outstanding order book, you said 216 crore, or I just wanted a number again, because it seems the execution is sizable compared to last time the outstanding order book was 470 crore. So just trying to get the number once again.
Jhansi Khajuraho package 1 is 416 crore remaining, 416. And package 2, 312 crore is remaining as on 30th June.
Thank you. Mr. Shah, may we request that you return to the question queue for follow-up questions. The next question is from the line of Faisal Hawa from HG Hawa and Company. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir, and congratulations for a very good set of numbers, even under the distressing circumstances. My question is that do you see any kind of competitive intensity decreasing in the coming years due to a lot of companies not being able to tie up finance, etc., in the HAM regime? And my second question is, even though government announced almost like a 20 lakh crore package for various industries and concessions, there was absolutely no mention of any kind of road projects being given extra, or road ministry being given some kind of a headway. Even despite the fact that the road minister, Mr. Nitin Gadkari, is one of the best performing ministers of this government. So you feel that the roads will continue to get impetus during the balanced tenure of this government?
Yes, certainly the road sector will get preference over other sectors. Even in the national infrastructure pipeline also, what they are talking about 111 lakh crore. So 20% they identified for the road sector projects in the next 5 years. Definitely road sector will be the focus sector for the government, because it creates large scale employment, and also it will have a trickle-down effect on the economy as well as the socio-economic development. But with regard to the reliefs given under the Atmanirbhar Abhiyan, some reliefs are given, like release of retention money and extension of time and other kind of things. There are no kind of a direct kind of a thing, but definitely we expect the government will support the infrastructure, and particularly in the highway sector, going forward.
Sir, about my question on the competitive intensity decreasing, do you see any competitive intensity decreasing due to a few players having balance sheet problems?
Maybe competitiveness may be decreased in case of a fund-based projects like HAM, because there is a funding used to be tied up and they should have a good financial credibility. And we don't foresee any sharp decrease in the competitive environment of the EPC projects, particularly of small size. But definitely in a fund-based process, the competitiveness could get decreased maybe after down the line.
And sir, cement as well as steel prices are rising. Do you see problems on that account in future?
No, again, it's a supply-demand kind of a scenario. What has happened during the lockdown and all, most of these units have been closed, so there is a pent-up demand, and there is slight supply-demand mismatch, demand being higher. So we don't see in the long term the price rise would be there. We expect the prices will get stabilized maybe after 2-3 months. Once the complete normalization has happened.
We will get price escalation in our EPC.
In HAM we get the price indexation, and EPC will get the price variation in case there is any sharp increase in prices of these commodities.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, due to time constraint, we'll take that as the last question. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Yogesh Kumar Jain for closing comments.
Thank you everyone for your participation in our earnings call. We have uploaded the presentation of our company website. In case of further queries, you may get in touch with the Strategic Growth Advisors, our Investor Relations Advisor, or feel free to get in touch with us. Thank you very much for participation. I urge you all to stay safe and make others safe. Thank you.